Ooh, let's see if I can adjust. This is weird. My situation is a little different with regards to my personal speakers, which is, I guess, it's good. I hope that you can still hear me and I'm speaking loud enough. I dropped something, but it's not important. Adjust myself a little bit here. Maybe adjust the camera just a slight bit so I can sit back and feel comfortable. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many thoughts on my mind. I'm having a hard time organizing them lately. But the title, of course, I think starts things off fairly clearly. Um, they protect guns, but they censor books, words, and ideas. And you should really pay attention to what that means. Weak people need guns. Weak people, weak minded people. Really, that is the only reason that we use aggression. Really, aggression is all about controlling because we feel that our space is being violated. And when we feel that our space is being violated, then we have a, a, can have an aggressive response. Of course, fleeing is a response as well. There are a variety of responses, but one of the most popular ones is to defend what you perceive to be yours. And the weaker you are, the more tools you are going to rely on to defend what you think is yours. So if you're weak, if you're slow, if those things have something to do with your, um, let's say, dedication to self indulgence, and that's the reason why we're slow, right? The other thing that goes along with that, and it's so absurd, is that they protect religious feelings, but they censor words and books, and they violate an individual's body autonomy. So they don't have a problem violating an individual's autonomy and their bodily rights, but they want to defend religious feelings. Now, this is my thought. Now, think about this and look up the definition of sycophancy. What is sycophancy? If it isn't anything more than kissing ass to get special favors from someone perceived or someone that has power. So worshiping and praying and feeling small and insignificant and feeling vulnerable and lost and needing to be protected from evil. I mean, really, think about what religion is. It's worship. It's all this ugly, it's probably the ugliest of and most primitive of human behavior is to worship and praise an invisible force that we see as the savior. Oh my, my baby, or whatever is called, my sugar daddy. It's really weird, but they're weak. So, see, if they're willing to protect religious feelings and they're willing to protect guns, but they're not willing to protect words and ideas and books, embody autonomy, then these people are weak. They are the weakest of the weak. And you know, a lot of times, and I don't know if you know this, that people that are very weak, they try to portray a lot of strength. See, that's how it's a very strange world we live in. I mean, if you think life is strange, I'm going to at least give you that. It is. It's fucking weird as hell. Weird as hell. You know, people are strange. I've had people really that get physically uncomfortable with ideas that challenge the artificial constructs that they have co-opted that make them feel have a comfortable existence, to be sort of psychologically semi-balanced. I'm not even sure what that is. It's kind of strange, really is. But and it doesn't matter if the person is conservative or even liberal. But I've had people that just basically say, "Nope, I don't want to talk to you anymore," because the ideas hurt them. The ideas hurt them. And what's weird about that, and I've talked about this before, words are not real. And I know you might be listening to me and saying, well, what the hell are you coming out of your mouth if words aren't real? They're sounds. They're sounds. Think about this. Right at this very moment, in another part of the world, there is a person that is making sounds that you have no understanding what their sounds are like. Just like I'm speaking right now, but I'm making sounds that are completely unintelligible, that you simply don't understand. And there are people that are listening to that person that are raptured by their words. It's not words. Words are symbols of something for something else. You know, most of the time when you speak, we're like automatic automobiles. We don't really think about syntax and periods and commas and parentheses when we speak. I mean, some people are a little bit more organized in their conversational patterns, but that doesn't mean that we have this sort of mechanical process that we're sort of going through at lightning steps or anything like that. There's something else we don't understand. See, that's the thing. But we learn all this stuff, and sometimes we take these things for being the literal truth, but nothing is a literal truth because these are all constructs. The person that lives in the middle of the Amazon jungle, all completely removed from society, is just as real as this. Maybe even more, actually more real, because this is completely artificial. This is completely artificial. And most people's power is artificial. I say, going back to words aren't real. Again, they're sounds, they're organized sounds, but they've been developed just like, but see, you need to understand, well, you know, you don't need to do anything. When we as creatures emit sounds, there's a purpose, and that purpose is not to communicate. That purpose is to control my environment in whatever way I feel that emitting that sound helps me control my environment. If emitting this sound makes me feel like I'm controlling my environment because you are attentive to the sound that I am making and I am capturing your attention, I'm controlling my environment. And what's the purpose? What is the purpose for me to control this? Well, I want to make things better. Who do I want to make things better for? I mean, who do we work for? We work for ourselves. But really, when I'm saying these things, I'm not saying them because I want your attention as much. So, well, I'm just sharing ideas. Just sharing ideas. You see, again, life is open architecture. It is not a subjectively defined sense of order. Order is not sustainable in a chamber of commerce, and a chamber of chaos. That's hardly a chamber. The chambers of commerce are not a chamber of chaos. They are chambers of parasites and predators. That's what a chamber of commerce is. Um, it's interesting, very interesting, but it's scary because a lot of weak people have power. And when weak people have power, they overcompensate. It's really sad what I see. You know, it's just there's this concept that I have heard, and I want to look into it a little bit more, and it's called self validation syndrome. And self validation syndrome is basically the inability to validate yourself from within, as opposed to using things that are external to sort of wear them as this either protective armor or reflection of our identity. So we rely on external items to create an image of who we are, but we rely on these artificial, somebody else's, something that somebody else created in most cases. You know, we identify, we attach ourselves to a sports team. We have a certain type of car. We like guns. We reflect certain colors. You know, we adopt certain features. There's all kinds of things that we do or we adopt to assert an identity, but most of the things that we use to adopt are artificial. So then we are, in fact, artificial. Most of us aren't real because we're so we we transfer power to things. You know, our credit card, our wallet, our bank account, our cars, our trucks, our toys. You know, all these things are the things that create our identity. Our identity is not based on our experiences as opposed to our things. See, been groomed to consume, and ritual consumption. Ugh, so disgusting. Anyway, I think that's all I have right now. 15 minutes is good enough, so I'm going to stop. And nobody's out there right now. So, have a good day and, think about things. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot better than just soaking shit up.